Woman testifies R. Kelly sexually abused her on video when she was 14. The woman testified at the singer's federal trial in Chicago that she had been persuaded not to testify against him at his 2008 state trial, which ended in his acquittal. In 2008, a jury in Chicago declared the singer R. Kelly not guilty of producing child sexual abuse imagery after seeing a video that prosecutors said showed the R&B singer engaging in sex acts with an underage girl. The defense team had argued that the identities of the people in the tape were in question, and several jurors said the lack of testimony from the victim was a significant barrier to convicting Mr. Kelly. But on Thursday, the woman at the center of the 2008 trial took the stand, identifying herself and Mr. Kelly as the people in the infamous video, saying that they had sex hundreds of times when she was underage, and explaining how 2 decades ago, he had persuaded her to deny their relationship to law enforcement officials. Told y'all that was R. Kelly. But here we have some people in 2022 still in denial. That was R. Kelly on tape with that little girl back then. I was extremely scared. I told y'all she was going to say that my parents would find out, she said, adding that she was afraid of what would happen to Mr. Kelly. Mr. Kelly has been trailed by accusations of abusing young women and underage girls for more than 2 decades, but had long avoided criminal punishment until last year, when he was sentenced to 30 years in prison after he was convicted in federal court in Brooklyn of racketeering and sex trafficking charges. Before that, the 2008 trial was the closest Mr. Kelly had gotten to being held accountable. The woman at the center of the trial, now 37, took the stand at the Everett M. Dirksen United States Courthouse in downtown Chicago, where she said that she had been repeatedly sexually abused as a teenager by Mr. Kelly, and testified that it was in fact her at age 14 appearing in the videotape, which at one point shows Mr. Kelly urinating on her. Testifying under a pseudonym for more than 4 hours on Thursday, the woman told the court that in 2002, after law enforcement officials had obtained the tape, Mr. Kelly sent her and her parents out of the country to make them inaccessible to investigators. He then urged her to deny to a grand jury that it was her on the tape and paid for a lawyer to accompany her, she said. She testified that she had falsely told the grand jury that it was not her on the videotape and that she was not sexually involved with Mr. Kelly. She said that she gave Mr. Kelly's lawyers a necklace of hers that could be seen on the videotape. Lock everybody up. Go find Ed Genson with his bile duct cancer and lock him up too. R. Kelly is not the only person that need to be sitting in jail. Her daddy gone. Lock her mama up. Because R. Kelly basically paid them for violating their daughter, and they took the money. He paid her for violating her, and she took the money, and they all spent it. And here we are, 20 years later. That trial started in 2002, but they prolonged it for 6 years. That's 20 years. 20 years. I don't know who's worse. No one is innocent. Not even these girls, because they were old enough to say no. Everybody involved in this scandal is guilty one way or another. And I also believe that two things can be happening at once. R. Kelly is innocent of some things, and he's also guilty of some things. Most of these girls this time are sitting on a lot of lies, and the parents. Azriel, her parents. Joycelyn, her parents. Dominique Gardner, her mother. Faith Rogers and her parents. Lisa Van Allen, Ashanti McGee, Jerronda Pace. A lot of them lied about something. No one is being 100% honest. As the woman spoke, Mr. Kelly, who is facing charges of coercing minors into sex, receiving child sexual abuse videos, and conspiring to obstruct justice, remained impassive. The woman told the jury that she was 13 years old when she was first introduced to Mr. Kelly by her aunt, a protege of Mr. Kelly, Sparkle, who goes by the stage name Sparkle. Boom. Mr. Kelly, who became the woman's godfather, started speaking sexually with her over the phone, she said, then started abusing her physically. She testified that Mr. Kelly would sexually assault her at various locations, including his home, the recording studio, and his tour bus. Oh my God. The tape surfaced after a journalist, Jim, for the Chicago Sun-Times, who had reported on the accusations against Mr. Kelly, Jim DeGaratis, received it in the mail from an anonymous sender and turned it over to law enforcement. Mr. Kelly was charged in 2002 with producing child pornography, and he stood trial in 2008 but was acquitted. The woman testified that around the time of the trial, she was living with Mr. Kelly, oh my God, in his mansion. R. Kelly, dead ass wrong. And he's right where he need to be. And after he was acquitted, he began physically abusing her and controlling her ability to leave. That's slick kidnapping. Oh my God. He later helped her move into her own place and get her a car, she said. Lord have mercy on their soul. This is just wrong. This is wrong, y'all. This is wrong. R. Kelly is dead ass wrong. A lawyer for Mr. Kelly, Jennifer Bunjean, who is expected to cross-examine the woman on Friday, sought to undermine her testimony in opening arguments, telling the jury that she has an immunity deal with prosecutors. The woman affirmed that in exchange for her testimony, prosecutors had granted her immunity from prosecution for perjury related to the false grand jury testimony in 2002. Oh my God. Lock everybody up. I keep saying that. I've been saying it for years. Lock everybody up. Everybody wrong. Them girls are not innocent. None of those girls are mentally challenged. They could have said no, but they didn't. This is just wrong. Oh my God. Prosecutors say they now have more evidence of the women's abuse than the state prosecutors had 14 years ago. The 2008 trial focused on one video, but the current trial centers on 4 videos. Oh my God. Their prosecutors say show Mr. Kelly sexually abusing the woman. Oh, this is so bad. Those videos are the basis for charges against Mr. Kelly related to producing child pornography, as well as the ones related to receiving child pornography. According to the federal indictment, Mr. Kelly and his associates realized in 2001 that videotapes of him sexually abusing the woman were missing. And as a result, they began a multi-year effort to recover the tapes. Lock everybody up. Lock his entourage up. Lock his enablers up. This is wrong. This is so wrong. As a result, they began a multi-year effort to recover the tapes, paying one person hundreds of thousands of dollars to try to regain possession of them. These folks assisted this man in attempting to get away with sexually assaulting a child. These motherfuckers ain't no good. Lord have mercy on their soul. These folks going to hell. Charges against 2 of Mr. Kelly's associates, Daryl McDavid and Milton Brown, who are standing trial at the same time as Mr. Kelly, relate to accusations that they had tried finding the missing tapes. Both men pleaded not guilty. The devil is a lie. They guilty. And their lawyers have argued that they were carrying out their jobs, unaware that Mr. Kelly was abusing children. Lies. What part of your job is it to assist this man in covering up a crime against a child? What part of your job is it in paying people to go find the tapes and bring them back to you? What part of your job is it to not report this? As a law-abiding citizen, they were supposed to have reported this. But they're criminals. They didn't give a fuck about their little girl or R. Kelly. They didn't want their money cut off. R. Kelly was their money. If he go to jail, they out of a job. Just that simple. This is wrong. This is so wrong, y'all, on all types of levels. This is wrong. Then they saying that they were unaware that Mr. Kelly was abusing children. The lies. If it were an adult on those tapes, they wouldn't have been looking for him. They went looking for him because they knew that that girl was underage. Lock him up and throw away the key. Later on in the trial, 4 other women are also expected to testify that Mr. Kelly sexually abused them when they were girls. Let me tell y'all something. I don't care what the government is telling y'all. I don't care what the media is telling y'all. This is double jeopardy, okay? This is a whole do-over from his 2008 trial. This is the case that they wanted R. Kelly on, but he got away with it. And thanks to all the other parents, the PP girl has now come forward to tell her truth. Because this is her truth. That was her on tape with R. Kelly. There's no denying that. Not on this channel. That was R. Kelly. Okay? And they let him go. I never got over that. They had him on tape. R. Kelly bought that case. That's what that was. But R. Kelly ain't got millionaire money to play with anymore. He broke. But he a different kind of broke. He got money, but he ain't got millionaire money anymore. R. Kelly is guilty of this. And R. Kelly is going to get the same amount of time, if not more. This girl's testimony has literally buried him alive. And he know it. He said that on a Gayle King interview. He know this. And what I don't get is the grown-ass women and men that sit their ass on YouTube and defend this type of behavior. God forbid if they got children. Lord have mercy on these people's soul. This man did this to that child. And she's wrong too. She was being a fast-ass little girl. Because none of these girls are mentally challenged. At any moment, they could have said no. Aaliyah too. No one is innocent. I just say lock everybody up. Over here, everybody wrong. Everybody guilty, one way or another. This is horrible. That man ruined himself. He did that to himself. And the thing about it that's making it so bad for him is the fact that he don't think he did anything wrong. I just don't know who's the worst. R. Kelly, the girls, the parents, his associates, his enablers, his entourage, the fanatics, because that's what these people are who are defending this. This is the case for me. For me, this is the case. I'm a firm believer that 2 things can be happening at once. You can be innocent of some things and you can also be guilty of some things. This is double jeopardy. And anybody that says it's not, I beg to differ. This is a whole do-over. And they added 2 more charges. Creating and receiving child pornography. How can he receive it if he's the creator? You see how they played with them words with that? Instead of just saying child pornography, they had to switch it up. They found a loophole. And they added enticing minors into illegal sexual activity and obstruction of justice. They got him. He's done. R. Kelly will do a minimum of 10 years before he's even eligible for parole. R. Kelly gonna get about the same amount of time or more. Her testimony is what we the people been wanting to hear for 20 years. We already knew it was R. Kelly. We just wanted her to admit it, and now she has. R. Kelly is done.